the jig is up. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, affectionately known as Sandy, was publicly humiliated yet again in another town hall in her own backyard in the Bronx last night in what's nothing less than a mass mutiny of her constituents against her. We're going to take a look at that uprising, and we're going to see how what's happening to Sandy is happening to the whole of the Democratic Party as a massive civil war is breaking out on the left. You are not going to want to miss this.
Very classy. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay.
We love you, AOC. Thank you.
I'm not allowed to be in a room when the lights turn off. It gets a little... That's one of the things. All right. Listen. Okay, listen.
All right. Listen. Okay. I'm not allowed to be around when the lights are off, right? Because, well, you know, you don't want to date me and all that sort of stuff. You could have imagined, ironically, that before the town hall started, AOC was relieved that at least people showed up to this one. Not like last week's town hall where 90% of the seats were empty. But be careful what you wish for. I mean, that was just so hard to watch. Well, it's a kind of hard to watch that you can't stop watching. It's like a train wreck, right? As you can see, it was painfully obvious AOC had no idea what to do in response to this. The left is always stunned into a physical and mental stupor whenever their own tactics of public disruption and humiliation are used against them. And so as you saw, at one point, she just starts nervously dancing to the protest chants, which just caused another AOC dance video to drop. Yeah, or how about this meme? Hey, Google, how long can the body survive without a brain? And the answer for our podcast listeners who can't see, 32 years. And of course, it's a picture of none other than Sandy herself, AOC. But what's been happening of late, all these theatrics aside, what's been happening of late with AOC is that the charade of the AOC brand is starting to be called out. She's being recognized by her own constituents as nothing less than a fraud. And she's a fraud created and perpetuated by the left-wing activists disguised as journalists in the legacy media. She's donned the cover of publications like Time magazine. She's been a celebrity guest on all the late-night talk shows. She constantly and consistently receives the most fawning media coverage possible as the face of the future of the nation, a young, idealistic visionary who carries the hopes and the dreams of a burgeoning millennial majority. But in the midst of all that, Sandy started pulling these bizarre stunts, like the pictures of her crying in front of caged children at the southern border, when it turned out it was all fake. She was actually outside a chain link fence that goes around a parking lot. Or more recently, when she faked being handcuffed when led away by police during a pro-abortion demonstration. And again, she's so self-unaware, at that moment, she raises her hand in a sign of fisted defiance, forgetting that she was fake being handcuffed. I mean, it's beyond cringe. And yet the lamestream media continues to try to push this farcical fabrication on the rest of us. But obviously, as we can see from the town halls, the jig is up. And the fabrication that is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is starting to unravel, most especially in her own backyard. But If we take a few steps back, we'll find that what's happening to AOC is actually happening to the Democratic Party as a whole. Democrat constituents are suddenly realizing that their party, the hippie party of peace, love, dope, is fast becoming the new neocon warmonger party of the military-industrial complex. And as a result, a civil war is starting to break out on the left. Isn't that wonderful? We could just sit back and butter the popcorn, right? But no, there's much work for us to do to fight back and defend the culture of faith, family, and freedom that we all love. And so to aid in that fight, I'm so excited to gift each and every one of you with resources that will help you stay informed with real news as we approach the midterms. Make sure you click on that link in my description below, because I have the most incredible free gift ever for you, a free guide that will dive deeper on how to stay up to date with my go-to news sources that will become your antidote to fake news this season. I've compiled several of my simple blueprints that will help you destroy liberal culture in your daily life, and they're yours absolutely free. It's my gift to you simply by clicking on the link below or go to drsteveblueprints.com. More and more Democrat voters are coming out and calling out AOC and her ilk for what they see as nothing less than a total betrayal of Democrat values, which has supposedly always shunned war and worked for peace. We're not the only ones taken back by the fact that the very crowd who kept crying out Bush lied, puppies died, and no war for oil, and all of that are the exact same politicians who are now hell-bent on starting World War III. An increasing number of Democrats are recognizing this. One study found that 82% of Democrats don't want to have anything to do with a war with Russia, which of course stands in stark contrast to the recent $40 billion military aid package that was sent to Ukraine, a package that every single Democrat in Congress voted for. The anti-war wing of the Democratic Party, as far as the permanent political class is concerned, is dead. And so it's no coincidence that more and more Democrats, like the former liberal Democrat Brandon Strzok and most recently Tulsi Gabbard, are walking away from the Democratic Party. In fact, as it turns out, Brandon Strzok's walk-away movement was just the beginning. The white working class, who are notoriously anti-war, they've abandoned the Democratic Party in droves, and that defection is turning states like Iowa and Ohio and Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania more and more red, and not just red, but deep red. Latinos are walking away from the Democrats in droves. Latinos are consistently the most conservative demographic in our nation, very pro-life, very pro-Christian, very pro-family, but also very anti-war. And they don't want to have anything to do with this increasingly war-mongering Democratic Party. And even CNN is admitting that black men in particular are leaving the Democratic Party in record numbers. As more and more frauds like AOC are being exposed, we can expect the Democratic coalition to continue to unravel right before our very eyes. As always, make sure to smack that bell and subscribe button. You'll definitely want to check out my latest video on the Democrats that have just ended their own campaigns in some of the key campaigns across the country. You're going to absolutely love it. So make sure to click on that link and I'll see you over there. God bless.